Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. It is Saturday, so we are doing things other than just playing tabletop games. Today, I'm going to be designing a dungeon and maybe even playing it if we have a bunch of time. So, we've played some Kurn of Talos together, a fair bit of it on stream, and something I mentioned a few times is that the randomly generated dungeons, they obviously feel very, very random. Like there's kind of a consistent theme. It's all very like undead horror themed, but the like actual layout of the rooms, the content of the rooms, it's obviously all random. And so I thought, wouldn't it be nice to like take the Kurn of Talos dungeon generation, like the room shapes and the events and so on, and just try making something, but not letting ourselves be slaves to the randomness. We'll try to design an actual dungeon inspired by this that works as a dungeon that people could potentially play and figure out and that sort of thing. So that's what we're getting up to today, and also just going to be rambling about some stuff, which is why this stream is in the just catting category. Yes, the just chatting category, rather than the tabletop category, because I have stream things on the mind that I just want to kind of cast out there into the ether. But before all of that, I must warn you that I will be stepping away at some point in the next hour as I have an Amazon delivery coming. I'm getting a new book. I am getting a Voyage to Arcturus by David Lindsay, which is an old sci-fi book. And the reason I'm getting this is because this is apparently, it was an influence in C.S. Lewis when he wrote his space trilogy. That's right, C.S. Lewis, the Narnia man, wrote a sci-fi trilogy, which is kind of about the evils of technology and science, which is a kind of odd thing to do through sci-fi. Like the second book in the trilogy is kind of, what if the fall of man never happened? Anyway, I found A Voyage to Arcturus because one of the ways I said in which I like to find books to look at influences of authors that I like. And the reason I'm telling you this is because it's arriving at some point in the middle of stream. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but it used to be the case that Amazon would always offer you a few different delivery options, right? You'd have your next day delivery, which costs a few pounds, and then you'd have your like free delivery, which comes like 3 or 4 days later and is, well, free. And of course I always go for the free delivery, but I found about half the time now Amazon only seems to offer me the paid next day delivery. So I wanted to pick up some CDs. I got a couple of Castle Rat CDs on the way, and I picked up this book to just round out the order. And Amazon were like, okay, we'll send you the CDs free delivery, but the book, you're getting that next day delivery. We're charging for the privilege, and that's it. So I have this book arriving midstream, and I could not choose otherwise, which is kind of annoying. All right, so we have our entry room. I'm going to read that as a 42 rather than a 24. So we've got this kind of like T-shaped room, which is good for an entrance hall. I didn't go for the 24 because that's a kind of weird curvy corridor, which I don't think really works for a dungeon entry room. I'm also not going to be too precious about the exact shapes and sizes of things. So like a 3 wide entrance works. You've got a door coming in the middle, and then I've got like branches heading off like so. And let's get a shape for a door. So we'll want like a rectangle. Maybe a slightly big rectangle. Let's fill that in white. There we go. There's the door of our dungeon, and we'll work out what was in these rooms later. I just want to kind of get the rough shape to start with. Yeah, this looks very like entrance hall. Maybe there's gonna be like a statue in here or something. Let's number these rooms while we're at it. Yes, I have a book coming, which I'm looking forward to reading. I just kind of wish that I'd be able to get free delivery for it. But the thing I wanted to ramble about was stream stuff. So obviously, what we're doing today is not playing a video game, and it might appear that my stream schedule's kind of just changed just like out of nowhere this week, where I've gone from doing 2 campaigns and 1 video game stream to I don't really like Room 87 here, to doing something else. Room 78 is also a dead end. Maybe let's have like corridors coming out of here. Yeah. I think it's probably good to work out the like the general shape of our dungeon. Like, is there maybe there's going to be like a big like loop kind of coming around, like a corridor like around here with kind of like rooms branching off, and then like maybe like a big room in the middle. That could be a potential shape for our dungeon. Yeah, I'm going to put a big corridor here. Maybe let's go for... Maybe let's go for this like corridor 15. So we got like the niches in there. Those niches could have statues in. So let me draw this in, and then I will continue rambling about stream things. So let's just like change the shape of this slightly. So let's kind of have like this here. And think like this is going to be like a niche with a statue in, and then the corridor kind of continues up. So let's see, how far up does this go? It goes up 3, and then we have another niche. I don't really like all of the weird room shapes. Some of them are like okay, which is kind of what I'm going for here. But many of them are just too weird, I think. Let's put like a door like up here, and I don't know, we'll just like bring this down here. I have like statues in those little niches, and we'll have the same thing on the other side, so we've got like a symmetric entrance into our dungeon. Anyway, I started rambling about like stream things. What was I saying? Oh yes, my schedule has changed. I'm not doing 2 campaigns a week anymore. I'm doing kind of 1 campaign and then like one-shots and other stuff. And the reason I'm doing this is because I was thinking, why is it that I only have 1 viewer? I do appreciate you showing up and watching my streams all the time. That's very nice of you. But I was wondering, like, I've been doing this for some months now. Why is it only 1 person stuck? And I kind of came to the realization that there's kind of 3 problems with what I was streaming, and so a change was required. The first... I get this door where I want it to be. There we go. The first is that I think, as I mentioned a couple of times, no one wants to like, if you're on Twitch looking for something to watch, or if you're like on YouTube looking for a VOD to watch, seeing episode 8 in the title is just inherently off-putting. Nobody wants to tune in to that. It like adds a bit of Room 87. Again, is that the one I just... That's the one I just got. No one wants to tune into like episode 8 or something. It feels like a big hurdle. Let's have it's a very square room with only 1 entrance. Sure, let's put a square room up here, and I can break the symmetry at this point. So yes, no one wants to tune into like episode 3 of something, or episode 8 of something rather. So that was a problem. Another problem, I think, is that my streams are just not very entertaining. It's painful to say, but I think it's true. Where there's a lot of dead air, a lot of rules consulting, that sort of thing. Like the combat yesterday in Across 1,000 Dead Worlds took like 2.25 hours. I could have avoided that if I'd run some practice combats off stream beforehand. Let's maybe go for room 94 is a kind of interesting shape. Yes, that's a good point. Hime, who has been doing some much longer and has much better streams than me, has very few viewers as well. Like, I've tuned into some of Hime's streams, and it's on the order of like 10 to 20 people. It's kind of hard, I think, as a solo TTRPG streamer to get people interested. It's a very small niche, which is another problem. So it's a very small niche. People don't want to tune into like episode. Let's get rid of this door actually. People don't want to tune into like something that they're several episodes into. And let's see, what was the third problem I thought of? Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. But yes, there are things that could be better. Let's put some. Let's go for a room. Let's go for this corridor over here now. And so I was thinking, what could I change? I'm rolling a lot of duplicate numbers today. Somehow, let's roll like more dice at once to up the chaos. I've got a. Is this weighted? We've got a 42 again there. We've got a 54. Which is a weird curvy room that's not very good here. I was thinking like room 51 here with all of its many doors. So let's put room 51 like in the middle here. So yes, I was thinking, what could I change? And some ideas came to mind. One was maybe don't do too big, like two campaign streams a week. If like Monday is one shots, that's easy for people to drop into. And if I still want to do one campaign, at least one campaign, so that would be what put double doors. Yeah, I don't know. So that would be the Friday streams, and then the Saturday streams kind of remain like variety stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So Mondays are all going to be like one shots now, like trying out new systems, or like trying like adventures and running them, like non-solo adventures, running them with solo systems or that sort of thing. Fridays will be campaigns, like generally shorter campaigns, more like 3 to 5 session arcs, because that's like a smaller commitment to tune into. If someone doesn't like session 1 of something and there's only 4 sessions total, that's not a big problem. And then just branching out a bit on Saturday, so it's not just video games, it's also going to be making things or whatnot. Maybe like some system deep dives or something. Like I'm probably going to run a stream looking into Mythic. Yeah, just kind of seeing what comes up. I've got a corridors possibly here. I've got 15 and 20. So 15 is it's kind of like weird one I've got here. 20 is this kind of like cross-shaped corridor. Maybe we'll just have like a straight corridor heading up here. And we'll have this like going up somewhere perhaps. It's a very dense dungeon so far. I think I need like a corridor heading off to like a new segment. In fact, I think I've gone too far on the symmetry here. I'm gonna just replace this half of it. So I've got these 3 rooms up here, I think. Let's have this one going up. What is my goal? Yes, that's the thing I didn't really have a good answer for, and I guess the goal is mostly to enjoy doing it because it's kind of fun. There isn't like anything specific I want to get out of it. But what I did realize when I was reflecting on things is that I just kind of like started. I didn't really put that much. I thought I want to try streaming solo tabletop RPGs, and I didn't really put much thought into it beyond that. So my first stream, which I'm very thankful that I did not archive the VOD because I didn't realize how quickly they timed out on Twitch. My first stream is truly awful. I had like a cold, but I had decided that day was going to be my first stream, and so I just kind of went ahead and did it, even though I sounded awful and it was just bad. But yeah, just kind of like started and then didn't really reflect on the process until like a couple of weeks ago when I started thinking, like, why do I only have one viewer? So that's why I thought about changing the schedule. I was also thinking about I see. I guess another secondary goal was it would be quite nice to like make new friends through this, but that'll kind of happen if it happens. Let's see. So yes, I was thinking I should rethink the schedule a bit more, which is kind of what has happened, and also I didn't really put that much thought into like the I hate to use this term, but the branding of the stream. And this became apparent when I was thinking, do I want... I thought maybe I want like a nicer chat widget, because I just have the chat messages appearing on screen at the moment, right? I thought maybe, I can have something that's got like a nice little background or whatever. And I looked through all the chat widgets on Etsy, many of which are very nice, but none of them felt right, and I wasn't really sure why. I have talked to my group. They do sometimes show up and watch. But yeah, I was thinking, like, why can't I find a chat widget that like works? I'm not going to bother keying this corridor because it's just a corridor. No, let's key the corridors as well. I was thinking, why can't I find a chat widget that kind of works? And I realized it's because I hadn't really thought about what my stream should look like. I just kind of made something that was like good enough and like iterated as I'd gone on, but never really like sat down and thought about it properly from the beginning. And so that's something I think I need to do. Like the model is kind of nice. It is good enough. The color palette I picked is kind of okay, but again, it wasn't really like designed. It was more stumbled upon. So that's something I'll be considering. Like one of the things I thought about was, let me see if I can find something. So my character's name is Acadian. I was thinking I want to maybe like bring that into the stream as like an interest, but then it's only the character name and like the cuneiform background at the bottom bar. But those are the only elements. Maybe I could go more into that. I don't know. I need to think about things more. So there'll probably be more changes coming, but the stream will definitely be sticking around just as I figure things out and iterate. Let's see, we've got a 73, which is a kind of dead end room. That could go here, perhaps. And let's maybe, after I put this room in, look at what some of these rooms might be. Okay, pentagon, not pentagram, pentagon shape. I'll have something like this. This doesn't feel the right angle. Let's do a different, easier to draw shape. This, and then maybe we could have another, like a point over here. Perfect. Okay, so this will be room 4. I think let's look up some room descriptions and events and stuff and kind of work out what these rooms might be before we go any further. Where is that in mapping domains? Here we go. Maybe we want to roll an overseer, actually. We can get a kind of general theme for the dungeon. 10. Zephyrus Shadow. What's this guy's deal? Zephyrus Shadow is an enigmatic force woven from the very threads of lightning and shadow. The Overseer sends bolts of electric fury crackling through the air, casting curses that shrouds its victims in disorienting darkness and showing its dominion over the atmospheric energies that allow it to cast lightning-infused projectiles. Okay. Lightning is making me think maybe like mad scientist theme. Let's note that down and maybe use that to inform how we interpret things. maybe this dungeon is the lair of a mad scientist, and we are built into the side of a mountain. So like the mountain side, kind of like here, and there's like a windy path that leads up the side of the mountain to the door. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, and then we have our events and stuff, our room descriptions rather. Corridor descriptions and room descriptions. Let's see. Our entrance room. Foul, withered plants and skeletal trees twist and reach a sunlight that will never touch them again. We might be twisting things a bit with if we're kind of retheming Colonel Powell stuff in terms of mad science, but I guess that means room 1 is some sort of like show room, which makes sense with it being the entrance. Possibly we have maybe not plants and trees, maybe like creatures in vats. Yeah. We have creatures, dead things in vats. Possibly these are experiments to show off the power of his mad science. We need a name for this mad scientist. Let's get the fancy name generators thing up. Well, let's just Google for mad scientist names and see what we get. Ah, there is a fancy name generator for mad scientist names. Okay, I hang out in Hime's Discord and sometimes in her stream chats. Our schedules don't really line up that much, obviously because she's based in the US. It's normally like 1 a.m. here. But it is something I'm kind of interested in doing at some point. Let's call our mad scientist. These are all terrible mad scientist names. They're like Professor Pest, Dr. Deficit, Dr. Fingers. Let's see if we've got a different mad scientist name generator. The Wikipedia category of fictional mad scientist. Let's use one of these bad names as a placeholder. Doctor. Oh, these are all so bad, so bad. Dr. Boulder. There we go. No, that's too bad. Dr. Boulder. I can't call my mad scientist Dr. Boulder. We need like a wizard name, I guess. That's what we want. A wizard name generator, because that could just be a mad scientist. There we go. That's so much better. They just fantasy sounding names. Okay, let's go for Madreen. Madreen. It's got mad in the name. It could plausibly be a wizard. Okay, so there. So like our entrance room here, Madreen the Magnificent. There we go. Perfect. Why is this text so big? Let's shrink that a bit. So in our like entrance room, we have like dead things in vats. I think kind of like lining the entrance. Like most normal people would have statues in their base. Madreen the Magnificent has vats with past experiments in to show off their amazing power. Like if you go to someone's base and they've got like a dragon's head in a vat or whatever, or a kind of man with a dragon's head, that's pretty cool. Maybe got like a big like fresco on the north wall. kind of like what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like Michelangelo's creation of Adam, but with a mad scientist in it. So we've got it's going to be massive, isn't it? So we've got like this on the north wall, but in the place of God we have Madryn the Magnificent. Just put Madryn, I guess. We have Madryn in the place of God, and then in the place of Adam we have possibly the like unwashed hordes of humanity. So it is portraying Madryn as this benevolent like creator figure, passing down greatness to the normal people. That's our room 1. I think that's pretty good. Do we have an encounter in room 1, or maybe we roll for an event? I don't know. We'll see. I've got a 19, which is an encounter. I think that some sort of guard thing makes sense. Some sort of guard beings. We can work out what those are later. Okay, I think mad science is a good theme and will hopefully inform things. So maybe like room 2, it's going to be like a corridor. We can flesh these out in a moment. Room 1 is our entrance hall. Dead things. Room 2 is some sort of corridor. Room 3 is I got room 2 room 3s. Whoops. That's room 4. Can be room. Oh. No. Yeah. One room 4 and room 5. So room 3 maybe is like a small library. Room 4, I'm not really sure. Let's see what it might be. We have 2, a regal hall. This could be like an entrance chamber. Foregoing sleep. You know, if I didn't have a job, I would operate on a very different sleep cycle. Like whenever I'm off work for like a week, I immediately shift to going to bed at like 4 a.m. and waking up at noon, which very sadly is not doable if I also have to work. But yes, I'm suited to a life of sleeping at weird hours. Room 5 is like an altar. Yeah, like a small lab. So what I'm thinking is maybe Madryn the Magnificent is known about, like they're not out in the middle of nowhere keeping secrets. It is known there is a mad scientist living in this mountain, and some people will seek out Madryn for their mad science needs. In the entrance, they've got this like very like grand, impressive thing. Maybe like to the east is where like visitors come, and to the west is more like Madryn's area. So this door is probably locked. That L does not show up. Just go for like a red border to just get locked. So you come in, you're impressed with this fancy entrance hall. Then immediately next to that, there is a grand audience chamber with, I think, a locked door leading north. This is where you come to speak before the throne of science and ask your questions. And if you need something doing in a lab, it would happen in this small lab off to the side, which is like very impressively set up, and its purpose is more to wow visitors than to do actual mad science in. I think the actual like main mad science area is more like to the north. I think this is more like the private areas of Madreen. So we possibly have like a big lab room like here or something. Small lab for show. There we go. Let's add a new room in. Let's see, where was I? Ah, yes, thinking about like stream things. Like I'd not really thought about the colors or anything, so I need to think about that some more. Think about the model. Yes, I was going to show something. Let me just find that. Like maybe doubling down on the like Acadian theme. Where are my my VTuber notes? Here we go. So, if I were to think about like really doubling down on the theme, oh, is Miro going to support WebP files? Let's find out. Oh, it doesn't support WebP files. Nowhere supports WebP files. Here's like an example of sort of like outfits that would be worn. Obviously, I'm wearing just like generic clothes at the moment because that's what came with the model. But if I were to get something custom made, which is not going to happen anytime soon because VTuber models are very expensive, it'd be fun to get something more like this sort of thing. But that's definitely a future project because, as I understand it, VTuber models cost like thousands of dollars, and I'm not ready to drop thousands of dollars into like my small side hobby just yet. But maybe I'll like look at that sort of thing to get ideas for colors and like design elements and whatnot, and kind of feed that into things. Let's see what's north of this audience chamber. Go room 93. A weird shaped room. It kind of fits, maybe. Yeah, I think this fits. This makes sense here. So not sure about the kind of slope here. Maybe just like a straight corridor. Yeah, I think just a straight corridor rather than bending it like that. We'll have like a little branch heading off that way with a door in it. Or possibly a statue, I don't know. Or a vat with things in. What was I looking at? 93, yes. Yes, we have a door up here, and then we kind of come back and we have a room down here. I might actually want to flip this so we have the big open portion kind of over on this side. Yeah, I think flipping it makes sense. Let's get rid of this again. Okay, so we're gonna go up 1 square and then immediately out like 3 or 4 squares, whatever. Something like this. We have a little door coming out over here. This could connect to like a little corridor, maybe leading around into the small library space. And then this kind of comes back around here. We're going to have a door on the other side as well. And also one kind of poking out here. Then I think we need some corridors in here because, yes, it's very dense. Maybe it is going to be very dense. If it's built into a mountain, it's kind of hard to excavate lots of space. So let's work out what this room might be. So it is next to the entrance chamber. This is probably where Madreen is going to come from if you come to see the mad scientist. You come in here and like ring the science bell, and Madreen will come from the north in their magnificent science robes. It has exits in all 4 cardinal directions. There's a pretty good like crossroad style space. But it's also quite a large chamber itself, so this is not just a crossroads, it's also used for something. Let's have a look at our rooms. Overgrown courtyard. It now says it's a graveyard. Definitely not. Shadows move here. Some of the events have yeah, many of the events mention like rooms and stuff. Let's have a look at what we got here. So we've got 35, and it's an altar of sacrifice. This could be an altar of science. We've also got a 53, which is the smell of death. Maybe this room is the main lab, because it's quite a large chamber, and as a mad scientist, you're going to spend most of your time in your lab, so it makes sense to have a quick route from your lab to your audience chamber. I think we're going to need like a prison somewhere to keep the victims of the mad science. Possibly like down here actually. So if we have like a corridor that is going to come like around here, perhaps. Little one going like down here. We could have like a little prison behind a locked door down here. We need a bed chamber for our mad scientist. Maybe a little prison is like, I don't know. Thinking if we have like little prison cells, I guess I've not specified a scale on this. It's probably like, I guess it could either be 5 or 10 foot squares. If they're 10 foot squares, a prison cell is probably like 1 square. They're probably 10 foot squares, otherwise these rooms are quite small. Yeah, let's go with that. 10 foot squares. So, like our prison cells, let's have them like down here. Like a row of them. And we'll have like a locked door leading into the prison area. Then we'll have like a little corridor leading along. we need like a jailer, unless our mad scientist is also functioning as our jailer. I think that's beneath a mad scientist. What sort of mad scientist doesn't like what sort of self-respecting mad scientist doesn't have their like hunchbacked servant who does all the dirty work? So I think we probably have like an Igor type figure, maybe like a little room, like here. I need to shrink these numbers, I think. Okay, so this is room 7. Yes, let's shrink all these numbers. Okay, so room 7 is our prison. Our cells, I guess, not really a prison. I feel like prison to me kind of implies that people have been like convicted and sentenced to be imprisoned here, whereas this is just people are being locked up before they're being experimented on. And then room 8 is Igor's bedchamber, because what else would you call your mad scientist assistant character? What a little central space here. This could just be walls. It's like unexcavated rock. Let's fill that in. This space up here is probably also just rock. We are missing a mad scientist bedroom, which could be beyond this door here. What else are we missing for a mad scientist's lab? So a little entrance chamber with our grand audience hall next to it. Audience hall, not audience chamber. That's what I was looking for. We have a small lab for show. We have a main lab. A small lab. It's still pretty big. It's more of a show lab. The key thing is it's for impressing guests. We have our main lab here. We have the cells for the hapless victims. We have Igor's bedchamber. We potentially need, I guess it's not really a small library if it's 10-foot squares. We potentially need so we need our mad scientist room. Yes, kitchen, mad scientist room, kitchen, and no one ever has toilets in dungeons, but we could potentially have a toilet. I don't know. Maybe there's just like a hole in the ground in the cells, and like the prisoners get buckets of water chucked over them. That's how things are kept clean. But yes, kitchen and bedroom. So I guess we're gonna have like a corridor here, and we'll have something coming off to the north and south. I just got a text message from Amazon that my package is nearly here. Let's peek through the window creepily. Well, I don't see them yet, but I'm sure they're nearly here. I was complaining earlier that I've noticed a lot of the time recently, Amazon only seems to give me the option to like pay for next day delivery. They don't seem to offer, like normally when you order from Amazon, you can choose to pay for next day delivery, or you can choose for you can choose like free delivery in like 3 or 4 days time. But a lot of the time recently I've only had the paid option, which is quite annoying. Okay, let's put some doors. Well, mad scientist room. I guess this corridor probably doesn't need to be so long. Let's roll for a corridor. Okay, we've got a something 6, 6, 16, 26, not a corridor. I'm gonna go for 20. 20 is a good corridor shape. Let's go for that. So we've got doors to the north and south, and we have a little niche at the end for a statue or horrible mad science guard creature, whatever. This is room 9, this corridor. So we need a kitchen and a bedroom. 23 is a corridor. That's exactly what I don't want. 66. That could plausibly be like a kitchen. Maybe we don't need like the little bit of corridor coming in because we're immediately branching off a corridor. But we can have what it kind of comes out and it is like, yeah, that just fits. Okay. So it's like this, and we have another little corridor branching out, which could be to like a little storeroom. So let's have a little door like there to a storeroom, and this will be the kitchen. Oh, this is also a pretty good bedroom shape now that I think about it. Yes, let's put a little thing here for storeroom. This is rooms 10 and 11. I've got some more blank space to fill in. Okay, kitchen, storage room, and we need a bedroom. It's going to be a fairly large room, like it could potentially just be like this space here, but let's go for a shape. Okay, 99. That's a very large room. That's too big for a bedroom. Also, something I was going to do, which I totally forgot about, was we have the whole tension die mechanism in Kenneth to work out, if you found the overseer. Maybe we want to roll that to work out if we found the mad scientist's bedroom. Let's see, what does the tension die start at? It starts at a D10. Where's my dungeon gone? Where was I drawing my dungeon? Oh, down here. Okay, let's see if we've found things. So room 1. Okay, that drops down to the D8. Room 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay. 7. 8, 9, 10. Okay. So actually room 10 is potentially, well, I guess when we get to room 10, the overseer's room is imminent. So yeah, sure. Let's have this be the kitchen, and then we have the overseer's the next room. So okay, fine. Right. So we need a shape for this room. I mean, we could potentially have like another level to this dungeon, in which case we'd need to find the exits die. See 69. Although I feel like a relatively small compact base makes sense if it's a mountain base. Maybe we'll just pick a room shape, or just draw it in this space here. Yeah, let's just draw in this space here. That makes sense. So we've got like this over here. This is our mad science bedroom, and we'll have like a storage room like here. Maybe we don't need a separate storage room. Maybe we just have like chests and shelves and stuff. Okay, 12 rooms. Okay, so that's actually a little on the small side if of a D. No, it was the tension die started as a D10, not a. Did it start as a D10 or a D12? I've already forgotten. Let's see. It started as a D10. Okay, so this is actually a pretty average sized dungeon then. So a D10 usage die that will have a median of 13 rolls, and we found our boss room, or we depleted our usage die when we got to room 10. We added a little bit more to get to room 12. So it's a plausible, if slightly small, dungeon. We've got some more blank spaces. Let's chop those in. So it's clear there's no rooms there. Let's just outline things a bit. Okay, this is a fine little dungeon. We can, I guess, now roll some events and room description things to work out what is going in here a bit more. Also, there might be encounters and stuff, so we should roll for those too. Right, so we know there's an encounter in the entrance room. Let's go through the rest. Room 2. Nope. 3. Yes. 4. Nope. 5. Nope. That was a encounter in room. In room 3. Work out what that is in a moment. That was 5. Then 6. Nope. 7. Nope. 8. Yes. Because I guess that means Igor is in his bedroom all the time. And we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. Madrine's bedchamber is room 12. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we got an encounter in room 10 and in room 8. So either there's like a separate cook, or possibly Madrine spends a lot of his time in the kitchen, or possibly Igor switches between the two. Yeah, let's go for that. So Igor has a 50% chance of being in his bedroom or the kitchen. I guess also in the cells, maybe. Um, let's give him like a 1 in 4 chance of being in the cells, a 1 in 4 chance of being in his bedchamber, and a 2 in 4 chance of being in the kitchen. We need to be able to encounter our mad scientist. I guess they're going to be in their lab most of the time. There's like 5 and 6 in the lab, and then 1 and 6 in maybe 2 and 6 in the no, they're only going to be in the audience chamber if there's someone there. So I think they're going to be in their lab all the time. So Madryn is going to be in their lab all the time unless it is night or there's an audience occurring. Okay, so we have our 2 inhabitants. I guess our prison will have, our cells will have people. Let's have Igor, and we have wretched prisoners. How many cells have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, 6. Perfect. Let's just roll a d6 to see how many are occupied. 1. Okay, that's not exciting. 3. Perfect. Okay. Right. So we've got our entrance hall. It has some sort of guards in there. We can work out what those are later. Let's get some details of the rest of the room. So we have a corridor. So we can look at events, corridor descriptions, and room descriptions. This seems to be an old smuggler's hideout, as the room is full of boxes, most of them empty. Make an athletics check to attempt to open one of the boxes. If you pass it, you can make a roll on the spoils table. So maybe this corridor is actually full of boxes. Maybe this corridor is not really used because Madryn is mostly kind of over here. So if Madryn and Igor want to come out, they're kind of like coming out like that way. So this corridor here is little used and has become a second storage room, which means it's possibly somewhere you could sneak in through. Evidently little used, it's full of boxes and cobwebs. Let's go for like a 1 in 6 chance of finding something valuable. But it is difficult to navigate. Let's see. Difficult to navigate quietly. And I think we do have like statues in these niches. The statues are normally like a star shape. Let's find a star. Okay, cool. We got a star. So we got like 3. Why can't I? Kind of like this. Over here as well. Oops. Why? There we go. Okay. So extra statues somehow. Right, so we have statues in these niches. So I need to know what the statues are of. Maybe this was once used and they're like statues of Madryn in various scientific poses. Statues of Madryn in scientific poses, now partially buried under boxes. Picturing like a scientific pose is like someone holding up a beaker and like looking up at it, something like that. We have a library, which is going to be full of tomes of science, I suppose. Let's see what it's like. 21 is a trader. Okay, you could like euphemistically interpret that as it is full of tomes of science. The room itself is a trader. Let's check our descriptions. Dark arcane symbols cover the walls. Dark scientific symbols cover the walls. Oh, like alchemical symbols. Yeah. Okay, so we have like lines of like rows of bookcases. Books are probably not changed to the shelves because there's only one guy living here. Rows of shelves, obscuring visibility. It's not how I spell obscuring. Rows of shelves, obscuring visibility. The room is dark. No naked flames lighting it up. Is that not how you spell alchemical? It is not in alchemical is not my dictionary. Let's fix that. Okay, we have an encounter in here. What sort of beast lives in a library? You'd possibly have some sort of guard beast in your library, maybe. If someone's got here, they've gone through a locked door already. But if your library is full of precious books, you would want to deter thieves. Or if someone does break in, you'd rather them die than get away with your stuff. Maybe some sort of guardian. I guess the alternative is like a librarian or something, or possibly Madryn could be in here actually. Maybe both. This is getting a little bit complicated with where the people show up. Let's just have like NPCs. And where they are. So Madryn is in 4 if there's an audience. He is in 12 if it is night. Otherwise, he is in 6. Let's slightly reformat this because I'm doing this very vertically, and I have all this horizontal space. Okay, so we have Madryn will show up in 1 of 3 places, and Igor is going to show up in a few different places as well. So Igor is in the cells, or his bedchamber, or the kitchen. So 1 in 4 chance of being in the cells, like kicking prisoners or whatever it is he does. 1 in 4 chance of being in his bedroom. Otherwise, he'll be in the kitchen. We have other encounters. So in the entrance chamber, there's some sort of guards. In the library, there is something. We'll work that out now. And then in the cells, there are 3 wretched prisoners. So what sort of guard creature might be in the library? So 2 things come to mind. There could be some sort of like creature like living in the shelves, tasked with making sure no one but Madryn takes the books. Sort of like bound spirit or familiar or something. Wait, no, this is mad science. Some sort of scientifically bound spirit. I don't know. I guess alchemists dealt with devils and so on. Bound spirits can be mad science. Yeah, some sort of like spirit or whatever to look after the books, or something that just attacks anyone who comes in the room and makes noise, possibly. Let's go with actually, what creatures do we have for Kernathalis? Any of these that look like they might protect books? We have pain demons, corpse fusions, armor. Constructs could be good. Maybe there's a robot. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's have a robot that protects the library. Maybe there's like a suit of armor set against the wall and it's actually a robot. Let's put that in the middle of the room there. A guardian robot attacks any other Madryn who disturbs the books. I guess we need names for our prisoners. Those would be nice to have, but we can get back to that. Oh, we also got a unnumbered corridor over here. This is 13, I suppose. I mean, it's just a corridor. Okay, let's keep rolling up room things. So our audience hall. Obviously, it's going to have some sort of big chair in it. We have a 7 as our room description. Sculptures of mournful figures adorn the walls, each seemingly caught in an internal state of sorrow and despair. I think we can tie that in with this fresco we've got here. Maybe we have poor wretches who would be in better situations if they accepted the miracle of science into their hearts. So maybe it's just like various statues of and paintings of Madryn bestowing the miracles of science upon people. Let's have some statues around the walls, I guess. We've got this open space at the bottom. I wonder if it should have something. Maybe there's like, ooh, there could be like a big window looking out over the mountainside. Yeah, I've drawn this outline. Let's just get rid of this outline. I don't need this outline. I don't know why I drew it. So I have like the edge of the mountain here. Coming around like this. I did not use the room descriptions in my Kern of Thalos playthrough at all. Because it didn't actually affect the game, really. And so it just felt a bit silly coming up with them. Let's have like a big open window thing here. To be like a dotted line, I suppose. Statues of Madrine in scientific poses, statues of wretches who have not accepted the light of science. A big window looking over the valley below. There's gonna be like a big chair in the middle. Okay, I was curious what would like a sciencey chair be, so I googled for science throne. Apparently there is a toilet called that. I don't think it's a toilet. That's not very nice. Okay, just a big chair, I suppose. Ah, this is perfect. Let's get this open. Here we go. Science throne. So we have okay, we've got equations and scientific equipment, robots, naked people, planets, rockets, stars, and so on. It's probably covered in alchemical symbols as well. So we have the throne of science in the middle, facing west towards the door. In the center, facing west, the throne of science. Yes, perfect. And then we have a lab beyond this. So I'm sure the lab is just like, I guess let's roll to see if there's any inspiration that strikes. But I think it's just going to be like a big operating table and like vats of bubbling chemicals and so on and so forth. Heat emanates from this room. You can see the glow of lava in a corner. Viscous material dripping from a crack in the wall. Possibly twisted and grotesque sculptures rest on pedestals. Yep. And some events. A body that has been clearly drained of blood slumped against the wall. Or ghosts. I'm thinking like an operating table and vats of things and like hooks hanging from the ceiling and so on. It looks probably like a torture chamber, really. Looks like a torture chamber, but with more stainless steel. Um, maybe like one of the walls has like a rack of shelves that have various body parts in like jars of formaldehyde. Maybe it's the yeah, kind of the northwest and southwest walls. They have like long shelves that have, yes, preserved body parts on in. Very acrid smell, I think. And then we have the main lab, which I think the body parts in here are just for show. There's probably not going to be any body parts in the main lab. I think it's going to be just very practical. Let's see, what do we got? A fountain with the shape of a demonic head pours water into a hole in the ground. Okay. Have like a water source in here, that makes sense. Terrible statue. Mm-hmm. Macabre paintings. And living quarters. Okay, I think it's just like operating tables and just lots of like surgical equipment and that sort of thing. Maybe like a vivisected body on one table being kept alive through some mad science contraption. Lightning machine. Perfect. Yes. A man science machine that buzzes and crackles and makes your hair stand on end. You get a static shock when you touch anything metal in this room the first time. Okay, cells. I think it's kind of obvious what it's like there. The prison cells for mad scientists, for people he's about to experiment on. So it's just horrible. It smells bad. There we go. I'm kind of curious who these prisoners are. So for that, I'm wondering, do I have like a handy thing of NPC backgrounds anywhere I can use? Let's have a look. Surely Mythic must have something about like NPC backgrounds. It's got everything. Let's have a look. Tables. Actually, maybe not. It's got NPC behavior. Let's see. What do I have? The Universal NPC emulator. That's got my name on it. Let's not open that. Kernel Thalos has the like why we executed table. That could be a thing to roll on just to. I kind of want to know what these NPC backgrounds are without just picking something, though. And they're probably not criminals. They're just like random people the mad scientist has been able to grab. It's like just an NPC background table. That's what I want. Let's see if does Old School Essentials have NPC backgrounds, perhaps. I know Dolmenwood does, but they might be a bit too zany. Yeah, here we go. Just roll up some random backgrounds for these guys. Okay, 3D100, and we'll see who these poor unfortunates are. Okay, we have a woodcutter. Let's put him over on our NPCs list. We'll come up with the names for these in a moment. 93, a Thatcher. And a 99. I rolled 90 for all of these. Roll for 2 skills. Ooh. Our third prisoner is some sort of very skilled person. I have a 1 and a 33. An animal trainer rather, and a Cooper. What does a Cooper do? A Cooper is a craftsman who produces wooden casks, barrels, vats, buckets, tubs, troughs, and other similar containers from timber staves. I'm not sure that like that combo of skills makes sense. A Farrier and a Vintner. Maybe like an animal trainer and a huntsman. This person could be like an actual adventurer. Yeah. They're a level 1 something or other. Druid, perhaps. The sort of druid who hangs out with animals more than the sort of who hangs out with plants, I suppose. So we have some random commoners and an adventurer. Let's just get a good name table. Random adventurer names. Let's see the dungeon fancy name generator. Here we go. So our woodcutter is oh, these are all male names. Can I generate a mixture? Okay, I have to choose which gender each one is going to be. Okay. So odds are going to be male, evens, female. Okay, so we have a male woodcutter and female thatcher and female druid. So our woodcutter is called Stomand Ornate. our Thatcher. Not really giving me surnames for these. Mara, Port, and then our adventurer. Is Agold Tiny. Yep, these are all some fantasy names for sure. Okay, so we still have our encounter in the library. Yes, we have our robot and our guard beings. We need to decide what these guard beings are. So they're not going to be indiscriminately hostile if people come to visit our mad scientist. They're probably going to be creepy, though. So they're off-putting to the people who come to visit him. So only the I can't think of the word. I'm going to say firm of heart, but that doesn't sound right. Strong of heart. Only the strong of heart will remain to seek an audience with the mad scientist when they come in and see the whatever it is in the entrance hall creeping around. I'm thinking, and this is going to sound really horrible, I'm thinking like twisted children that have been kind of like, this is really, really awful. Like child corpses that have been reanimated and turned like goblin type creatures. So they just like creep around the entrance hall, like peering behind vats of like bodies or whatever, creepily watching those who show up. Okay, let's put them down in our NPCs. Undead twisted children. That's awful. But they'd have stats as goblins, I think. Undead twisted seems wrong. I think it should be twisted undead. There we go. Twisted undead children. Stats as goblin. How many child things do we have? Probably like at least 2, I would say. But not a huge amount. Yes, the pompous pigeon. Let's see, how many children? Let's roll a d4, and if I don't like the number, I'll pick something different. 1. No, not that. Let's go for 3. Yeah, this is much more gothic than the whole pigeon thing. All right, and then in our library we have a robot. Which is going to be like an iron golem, I guess. I mean, if I'm potentially going to play this with the Kerneth rules, does it actually have like a golem type thing I can copy? The armor constructs, yeah, that's what gave me this inspiration. I think an armor construct is significantly weaker than an iron golem. Like an iron golem is a major threat for even tough adventurers. Flesh golem, What if You're in the library stealing books, and the suit of armor begins to move, and you think, oh my god, it's a golem. And then you hit it, and you knock the helmet off, and it's actually a flesh golem inside a suit of armor. That's even worse, I think. Flesh golem in full plate armor. Okay. Oh, we've got still loads of rooms I've not done stuff with it. Okay, the bed chamber. Igor's bed chamber. It's not very nice, I think. Igor's bed chamber, not very nice. Also smells bad. What sort of things might he have in his bedroom? What hobbies might the assistant of a mad scientist have? How might he show off these hobbies? I would like an incongruous hobby for this guy. And so for that, I'm going to turn to Ardenvoul. Because in Ardenvoul there is an order of knights who dwell deep within the dungeon, and their mission is to protect the status quo. They are guardians of neutrality. However, they all have bizarre hobbies that they get up to when they're not doing this. So let's look at their list of hobbies. Okay, our personal interests and weaknesses and things. Let's have a look. What do we got here? Okay, 3d6. 9. Really interested in cavern fauna. So maybe I mean this area looks pretty close, but this is built into a mountain. Maybe there's like caves below, and Igor has like carefully preserved samples of cavern fauna. Yes, fauna is animals. Maybe cavern flora is easy to have here. Carefully pressed cavern flora. Carefully pressed, locally foraged. There's a rough map of said caves as well. Okay. So that's what Igor is into when he's not being all henchmanly. He goes off and looks for like weird mushrooms, or lichens or whatnot, and fetches them, and he has them like in his room. We have corridor. Which one? We have this little corridor. This has got to have like a statue or something. There's got to be something in this niche here. Let's see what it might be. Corridor description. That's what I want. It's a D20. Okay. The air is stale. Sound of scurrying rats. Let's go look at our events, I suppose. Maybe a room description might be appropriate. Still a black pool reflecting the darkest aspects of your soul. Plans for grand structures, some never built, now rest here with the remains of their creator. So it could, maybe it's not quite a dead end. Maybe there's something in the works. I don't know. A furious spectre appears in front of you, cursing you in the ancient Valorian tongue. I don't really want to have like another statue of the mad scientist because I got a lot of them. 2 in this room and many in this room. Was it like 10 here? 2. I've got 12 statues so far of the mad scientist. Something has just come to mind. We need keys for these prison cells. They're going to be in Igor's room. You know, keys for the cells. This corridor, maybe there's just a mirror at the end, like a full. But why wouldn't he have a mirror in his bedroom? Maybe there's like a magic screen showing a view of like magic surveillance cameras showing views of the entrance hall and the audience chamber and the path up from like the view immediately outside. Yeah, let's go with that. So the mad scientist invented a technology he calls a screen, but everyone really knows it's a magic mirror. Nope, this text box is full. Let's start a new one. So we'll just kind of split things up. Oops. So we'll have down to room. Oops. Down to room 6 here, and then we'll move rooms 7. I don't know. Yeah. Move rooms 7 onwards over here. Oh no, I've lost the numbering because it's a numbered list. Can I start it from? No, I can't start it from room 7. I'll have to not have a list and just put in the numbers. I suppose I could have the descriptions like around here with arrows pointing to it. Now let's just put the numbers here. Some details for these rooms when we get to them. I mean, this is room 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so we have 3 magic mirrors that show the space immediately outside the like the top of the path up the mountain. So the space immediately outside the entrance hall, and the audience hall. So if visitors are on their way, our mad scientist can stand here at this intersection and look at the screens and know who is coming. And since this is mad science rather than magic, that means there's probably actually visible cameras in all these spaces. So I'll have a small concealed camera in the ceiling, in here, and in room 4. And I guess there's one outside as well. That's like room 0, a steep mountain passage, with a concealed small camera. Not in the ceiling because this is outside. There is no ceiling. In the wall beside the entrance. It's not really wall, I guess, more like rock. Right. Oh, I didn't finish bolding things. Oh, because that's our corridor. We have our kitchen. I think we all know what a kitchen looks like. It's probably the most normal, homely room in this place, actually. Let's go with that. This is Igor's domain. And Igor wants nice cast iron cookware and a proper stove and a wooden kitchen table, not like a weird stainless steel operating table. Evan, I said storage room. It's more like a pantry, I suppose. So I guess we've got lots of shelves and things on them and in jars and whatnot. We'll come back to Madrine's bedchamber because let's just quickly do this corridor here. I think there's probably nothing exciting going on in this corridor. It doesn't even have any weird niches for statues. Yeah, I think it's just a plain corridor. See if there's anything particularly exciting in the corridor description that we can't pass by. This tunnel is partially submerged in water. No. Tombstones and coffins line the walls. There's a trap. Ooh, a trap is good. We don't actually have any traps any. I guess I've not rolled for which doors are. If someone's actively living here, they wouldn't have traps on all the doors. So it makes sense to not bother with that. But possibly a corridor might be trapped, even if you live here. But it is at the very back. Would there be any point in that? The only place here where it makes sense to have a trap is like in like this segment of corridor here, where it could be triggered by escaping prisoners. So if the prisoners somehow get the keys and escape, but they trigger a trap, then they can't actually get away. So maybe there is a trap, like here or something. So you have to like know to step over a certain tile in the floor. So let's put a trap here. So we have a trap. Let's probably the random traps here don't really make sense because a lot of them are like really big, but we can have a look. Could also go with a standard classic pit trap. Ah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I rolled. The character falls into a hole disguised by a trap door. Okay, pit trap. Pit trap to catch escaping prisoners, triggered by a pressure plate. So Madryn and Igor carefully step over it, which means a cunning observer could potentially notice this if they were like hidden here somehow watching what's going on. And then finally we have Madryn's bedchamber, which is this very large room over here. So let's look at our room descriptions. '81 or possibly 18. Ghostly apparitions? Nope. Horrifying paintings and sculptures depict scenes of unimaginable suffering and torment. We've already got those all over the place. Something of value here. That makes sense. Maybe it's where like there aren't really any like secure storage rooms here, so presumably Madryn keeps like his wealth and stuff in here. Okay, has treasure. We'll come back to that in a moment. Strange set of sigils covers the floor of this room. Maybe this room is also trapped because Madryn is paranoid and doesn't want people stealing his scientific secrets. Or he thinks Igor might try to rob him. So possibly, so here it's described as kind of like a magic symbol trap that confuses you and deals damage. Possibly the trap here, kind of keeping with the mad science theme, it could be some sort of like hypnotism thing, or like confusing thing, some sort of like optical illusion or something that will hurt you if you are caught up in it. So the bed chamber itself is. I feel like our mad scientist is definitely the type to show off. He has all these statues of himself, even in like the private area over here. So it's probably like a grand bed chamber, very comfortable, very nice, well furnished. Okay, and we want to know what sort of treasure we've got in here. Um, let's have a look at the treasure table for old school essentials. Let's find that. Treasure, 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 treasure. So we can roll for what sort of treasure hoard is present here. The scientific equipment in here probably also counts as a treasure hoard, but the stuff in here is going to be in the bedroom is going to be like actual genuine treasure. So let's see. How rich do we think our mad scientist is? Probably like 18,000 GP average seems pretty high. 1,000 is maybe a little bit low if he's been doing this mad science for a while. Let's see, maybe a type B, which is 2,000 GP average, or a type E, which is 2,300. Let's go for a type E treasure. So the way this works is we roll a percentile for each thing, and if it triggers, if we have the thing, then we'll roll for what we've got. So we have a 5% chance of having a lot of copper pieces. Nope. 30% chance for a lot of silver pieces. Also no. 25% chance for some electrum. Also no. 25% chance for some gold. Also no. So I think we might have to just take the average here because we're not actually rolling up any treasure for this guy. Gems. No. Jewelry. He has jewelry at least. And magic items. Yes, okay, so it has some. I don't really want. If magic items could be scientific items. Yeah, I don't really want that result. Yeah, let's just make this up. Rolling for treasure is nice, or can be nice, but you can also just get completely nonsense results. I mean, just out of interest, let's see how much jewelry we would have got. 9. Okay, so his entire treasure hoard, if we'd stuck with the rolling, would have been 9 pieces of jewelry, 3 magic items, and 1 scroll. Like, no money, no gems at all. Let's just say he has some. Let's say he has the coins. So we have. I'm just going to make this up entirely. Let's go for 3,000 copper pieces. 2,000 silver pieces. And 500 gold pieces. That would be. So that's like 30 gold. 2,300. Sorry, like 730 gold. We need some gems. He's got like a lot of gems. That comes down to 1,480. Still a bit below average here. But maybe that's fine. Maybe he also has some science magic equipment. Let's see if any magic items make sense for like magic. Like, could they be reflavored as like science? An alchemist's beaker. That sounds very sciencey. But it also sounds like something you could get in the lab. Let's skim through this whole list of things. Thinking maybe it's like some magic glasses or something, possibly. What's this? Eyes of minuscule sight. Like, is that a microscope? Yeah. Let's go for that. Eyes of minuscule sights. So it has like some fancy glasses. Let's say he's got like a kind of combo item which can be put into minuscule sight or eagle mode, so you can see either see things very small that are very close, or things that are very far away. And there's you like flip a switch like you to like change the lenses or whatever in these glasses you're wearing. Maybe like a couple of potions as well. Yeah, check the potion list. Potion of growth sounds very mad science. The character doubles in size. Yeah. It's in like a cool test tube shaped file. Let's see, anything else that he might have? I think that's okay, I think. Because there'll be like science equipment and books elsewhere in here. So yeah, I think that's okay for a little dungeon. Let's make this blue, which is the color of glass. Okay, I think that's an okay little dungeon. Let's have a quick look again. So we have our entrance chamber, which has guards in and is imposing. This leads into, yeah, let's renumber things. Let's have the public areas, the first few numbers. So I have 1. Then this is 2 and 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Then this should be 4. It's kind of nice to have the the room numbers like follow how the player characters are likely to move through the dungeon. Then it's easy to find things. So I guess this could be 5. So yeah, corridor 13 is actually room 5. Which means we'll kind of continue around and we'll have like then 6 and 7 over there. So 6 is the library and 7 is the little corridor fragment. So this is gonna, so we're gonna have then 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 2 room 7s. Okay, let's call this 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so 8 is the cells. Eagle's bedchamber is going to be... Oh, I missed this one as well. It's going to be 9. So this will be 10. This is 11, 13. Okay. Let's see, I've not got any duplicate numbers or missed any numbers anyway, have I? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that looks all okay. This all matches. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, that looks all correct. So we've got our growing darkness tension die, which I don't know if like any weird stuff happens in the rooms. What does that start as? That starts as a D8. D8. Let's go through these rooms in order and see if anything weird happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, something weird happens in room 8. Just make a note. And 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so something weird happens in room 8. Let's go look at the growing darkness table. 90. An inhuman voice screams, whispers, and yells. Somehow you know that's an overseer. Roll on the overseer influence table. No. 82 is the same. 52. All demon opponents receive +10 combat skill. Okay, let's just look through this list and see what's going on. Or I could roll for a random event. Yeah, I'm not sure the growing darkness things really make sense. Here. Yeah, I should look at the random events. Strange vine. I want to have something weird happen, but I'm not really sure what. And the events in Kernel might just be a bit that they're maybe too weird, not the appropriate sort of weirdness. Maybe the cells are haunted. Maybe there's a ghost. Yeah, maybe there could be an experiment successful. Let's have a look at the overseer influence. Wherever that is. 7. Corrupting. Each time the creature deals 5+ damage on a single attack, make a resolve check or lose sanity. It occurs to me there's actually not much in the way of like enemies in this place. There's some guards at the entrance and a golem in the library, but otherwise nothing. So maybe there is some sort of like defense force that can be deployed if Madrine the Magnificent realizes that there are intruders in his domain. Let's go for a swarm of. Maybe she's got swarms on the brain because of Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, but maybe there's like a swarm of like engineered smart insects that can be instructed to like pursue a target. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I rolled the d20 for every room, and I didn't get that many. Well, okay, a lot of the encounters I kind of collapsed into. It's either going to be Madrine or Igor there, so that kind of explains the lack, I think. But also, if the dungeon is like a mad scientist lab, they're not going to have like ogres and goblins and stuff in every other room. Like presumably, like if the mad scientist is still living there. Yeah, let's say that he can deploy some sort of like horrible yeah, I guess the prisoners couldn't just be not human, possibly some of them. Okay, let's have some random events. Genetically augmented prisoner escapes and goes on a rampage. Let's say they have like troll-like healing. And I guess we'll have 4 of these because that's a D4. So genetically augmented prisoner escapes. Um, visitor arrives. Oh, supplicant arrives. Supplicant arrives to see Madrine. Um, Igor enters the room of the player characters on some errand. And let's have like another fighty one. Maybe a ghost. I don't know. Ghost of a previous experimental victim materializes, so make a reaction roll to see what happens. Could be good, could be bad. I think that covers it. If this is assuming like normal dungeon stuff, would be like a 1 in 6 chance every other turn for something weird to happen. Probably going to pick up the frequency actually, given it's a fairly small dungeon, like a 1 in 6 chance every turn of something weird happening. Okay, I think we have a dungeon. Maybe we could figure out some lore about this dungeon. Who is this Madrine? Like, what is he doing? He obviously thinks very highly of himself if he has a fresco like this on his wall. But I'll step away for a moment, and we can maybe do something with this dungeon and figure things out. So I'll be right back. Okay, maybe we should try attacking this dungeon with some characters. So need stats. So our guardians are goblins. Our guardian robot is a flesh golem. Flesh golems are really tough, I seem to recall. Let's see. Flesh golem. 7 feet tall, 9 hit dice. Yep, that's pretty tough. Whereas our entrance guards are just like little goblin children. Goblins are notably not one of the great and powerful monsters. Alright. Okay. So let's see. If we wanted to rescue one of the prisoners in here, how would we go about this? I guess we want like a pair of characters, or maybe just one character. Let's make a thief. Yeah. Let's find and copy over a character sheet. It's not form fillable. That's very sad. Okay, I mean, I don't really need like a full character sheet. Okay. Right. Okay, character creation. So quickly roll up a thief and try to throw them at this dungeon and see what happens. Okay, ability scores 3d6 down the line. Abilities being, I can never remember quite the right order. Strength, int, whiz, dex, con. I guess I will just copy this character sheet over. Put it over. Yeah, that's way too big. Let's put it up there. That'll do. I have a second page. I don't really care about the second page. Not really. Just note things down by the side. Okay, right. 3d6 down the line for some stats. And this person is going to be a thief. So I guess I will just cheat and move the stats around if they're not a suitable thief. Right, so their strength is... Okay. 13 strength. They're quite dumb. Uh, 11ly wise. That's okay. Not terribly bad. Dexterity. That's the one you really want for a thief, I suppose. 11. You can probably hear the gears turning in my head every time I have to add up 3 single-digit numbers. 15 con. That's very good. Very charismatic thief. Okay, I could adjust these if I want. Nah, I'm not really gonna bother. Let's jump over to the thief. Note down things. So I've got my here we go. So my strength, 13 strength gives me a +1 to melee and a 3 in 6 chance of opening doors. My 7 intelligence doesn't really matter. 11 wisdom. Yep, doesn't affect anything. 11 dex. Yeah, that's not amazing. I'm gonna swap my dex and charisma. Let's go with that. So with 15 dex, I have a +1 to my AC. I have a +1 to my missiles. And a +1 to my initiative. I'm not using side-based initiative. I suppose I am using individual initiative because I only have one character. Yeah. Okay, then my con is also a 15, so that's a +1 to my hit points. I can roll hit points. As a thief, I have D4 hit points. 4, I have a mighty 5 hit points. And then for charisma, I have 11 charisma, so that affects how many retainers I can have, but again, doesn't really matter. And with my 15 dex, I will have a +5% XP bonus. Nice. Again, doesn't really matter. Let's call him Kugel. Okay, then we've got to note down all of our saves and stuff. 13, 14, 13, 16, and 15. And my wisdom, my wisdom didn't give me a modifier there. I have my thief skills. Let's just copy the table over. We'll put that just here. And what am I missing? Right, do I get a bonus to finding to any of the standard skills? I don't think I do. Yeah, no. Let's roll 1 and 6 then. Actually, no. I guess hear noise is replaced by the thing, so I don't really have a listen at door skill. But I do. The others are all the same. My armor class, I can wear leather armor. Let's just assume I start with leather armor because I don't want to immediately be crushed. Equipment. Weapons and armor, leather armor, 12 AC, +1 because of my dex. So I have, well, my unarmored AC is 11, but with my leather armor, I'm at a 13. My attack bonus is a +0 as I'm level 1. And let's say I start with, oh, actually, there's a fun way of coming up with starting equipment. I believe it's in Carcass Crawler 2, perhaps? Yeah. Quick equipment. So as a thief, start with leather armor, and then roll a d12 twice for equipment, for weapons rather. So I have leather armor, then it's just the weapons table. I have a battle axe and a spear. I'm going to replace that spear with a dagger. That's a much more thief-appropriate weapon. And I have thieves' tools. Okay. I'm inclined to just go for the basic, like all weapons deal d6 damage. I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, the battle axe is slow. That's not great. Yeah, let's just go for all weapons deal d6 damage. It's like the standard rule, which almost no one uses. And my movement speed, so leather armor is light armor. That's on page 215. That means I'm moving at 30. Okay. Okay, I think I have a thief. Yeah, my charisma didn't give me a modifier to reaction rolls. Okay, right. So Kugel sets off to go and rescue one of the prisoners. Let's roll randomly. Agild, Kaini, the level 1 druid. Maybe we knew each other. Maybe we are partners in crime. And Kugel has come to learn that Agild is being held captive by Madrine the Magnificent, the mad scientist who lives up this mountain. I think I probably don't know the layout of the dungeon, so I'll have to explore it. I can't just make a beeline straight for the cells. Obviously, avoiding metagaming is hard. Unless do I have a character emulator? I don't think I have a character emulator. There's one I was looking at and considering maybe getting, but I don't have it right now. Right, so I need to work out first where the characters, like where people are. So, is there an audience occurring? I think there's probably a low chance of an audience occurring. Let's say it's like a 1 in 6 chance of an audience occurring right now. Nope. Then Igor is in the kitchen. Okay. Oh, I didn't renumber these. Oh no. Okay. I like how Igor is like obviously the assistant, but I haven't given him any chance of being in the lab. He's either in his room, overseeing the prisoners, or in the kitchen. He never goes into the lab. Okay. So Madrine will be in the lab. Igor is in the kitchen, and we want to get to the cells somehow. Okay, so first question is, do we actually make it up without being seen? Probably. There are the magic mirrors here, which Madrine could use to see that we're coming, but I don't think he looks through them a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna say like maybe 2 in 6 chance he looks through. No, okay, so I think we're able to like make it up the mountain at least to the door, like to the entrance door without being seen. But then we need to work out what to do from here. So Kugel creeps up this mountain path, up to the like grand door at the front, which I think is carved with alchemical symbols. Always a good option for science. I think it's fairly well lit, so you can see like light shining from the inside, sort of like flaming torches in the walls, and the whole thing has a kind of strange greenish light, I think, because of the light like shining through the vats that kind of line this like entrance passageway bits. And glancing in through the door, there's no like obvious movement, I don't think. And we can like see this fresco along the north wall. Now we know that there are things in there. Our character does not, but our character is a thief who is cautious. So I think they're going to go for a hear noise. Say 2 in 6 chance of hearing noises. So they'll get up to the entrance and like crouch down by the door and kind of like move their head close, but without like silhouetting themselves against the outside. And he does not hear anything. It sounds completely silent inside. So we're going to try to creep in. What does CS stand for? As the Theseals climb sheer surfaces. Okay. Climbing. There is a window here. Maybe would climbing to the... Would I want to climb to a window? Probably not. It seems quite risky. Maybe the window would be an escape route. Okay, I think we shall... Not hearing anything, we shall drop to the floor and creep in. We shall attempt to move silently, which allows us to move past anything that may be in here undetected. We don't think there's anything in here, but never know, there might be. Our move silently is only a 20 in 100, so it's almost certain we're going to be brought into, like, dragged into combat with the weird goblin kids here. Okay, so we creep in as quietly as we can, and it's a very disturbing room. It is, I've not said what, like, the construction is. Probably stone, I think. And we're just, like, carved out of the rock of the mountain, and there's these big bats, like 6 of them, 3 on each side. With, I think, like, entire bodies of strange creatures in. So we're kind of scuttling along the floor, creeping in, and if this were like a TV show, we would see a weird, twisted child kind of like slowly, quietly rising to its feet behind Kugel, ready to leap, and is going to get surprise on him. So the weird goblin child leaps upon Kugel and attacks, and so we're going to just not have an action this first round because we have 3 weird goblin children leaping on us from the shadows. Let's get our goblin stats. Yep, they are definitely small and grotesque. We might die in the very first room. That is always a chance with the level 1 character. Okay, so goblin children. I need my no, I don't need my combat tables. Okay. I think they're probably not. Let's see, how big is this room? How big is the room? If these are 10-foot squares, they only move at 20. So really, anything like actually in the room can't get to us if this is attacking right as we come through the door. So it's probably like 1, maybe 2. So there's 50-50 chance of a second one being in range, and the third is going to be further back. Okay, no, so there's only 1 in range. Let's say there's like 1 goblin child, like here, and we've got 1 maybe like here. It's like 1 round's movement away, and then 1 is like back here. And we are here. Let's also indicate we've got Igor is in the kitchen. Let's go for green. So Igor is in the kitchen, and Madrine is in the lab. Okay, so we're being jumped by a goblin child. Right, so combat order. It's going to move up 20. I guess he's actually too close then, because I rolled for whether he was in range, so we're going to move up 10. 20. It's not actually that big a room, I suppose. Fine. Let's say that 2 of them can get in range. 1 is right by the door, 1 comes running up to me, and 1 is at the back of the room. So we'll start with the goblin child on the left, trying to attack me. It has a +0 to hit, and I have a 13 AC, yes. So 13 to hit. 11, miss. And then the second one, 10. Okay, they both miss. I'm sure they look really horrible because they're not actually goblins, right? They're like weird, twisted, undead children. I don't get around. I don't get to act this first round because I've been surprised. So next round, we're rolling initiative. It's in principle it is side-based initiative with like an opposed d6 roll, but I'll just I do have a +1 to initiative actually, so it is worth doing the opposed roll. I was going to say like just roll 1 to 3 I go first, 4 to 6 enemies go first, but I have a +1, so let's do an opposed roll. That's a tie, which means we act simultaneously, I believe. Let's do that. Okay, so this guy, 10, 20, is going to come running up. I am now surrounded by horrible goblins. Miss. 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 So they all miss me. I'll try attacking the one on the left. And miss. Okay, this can be a lot of whiffing in this combat because, yeah, I only have a +1. They have 13 AC. Okay. Hang on. I need to rewind this because I said that the goblin children, they're not going to attack people on sight because people might legitimately come to visit Madreen. If they just attack indiscriminately everyone who came into the door, and he'd never get any visitors. So I need to undo that whole thing. Thankfully, no one got hurt. We all completely missed all of our attacks. So I listen at the door. Don't hear anything. I try to creep in silently. I am not silent, so the goblin children are aware of me. But I guess they won't attack until I do something sketchy. So I can see there's two doors out of this room. And I know that people come visit Madreen, so presumably, I think it's reasonable to say my character can infer one of these doors, like at least one of these doors goes to like a public space. So I want to like cautiously peek through both doors to see where they go. So I'll say, let's see, which one do I go for first? Okay, I go for the east door first, which is what the goblin children would be expecting people to do. So I go to this door. I listen at it. I have a 2 in 6 chance to hear noise, I believe. I mean, I know there's nothing beyond there, but yeah. I listen at it, don't hear anything, and cautiously crack it open. And I see this like statue-lined room. I suppose I also know that this is the room with the window because you can see that from outside. So I see this statue-lined room, this big throne of science in the middle, like facing the doorway. No one in there. So I'll shut this door and then turn to the other one. Am I aware of the goblin children at this point? They're probably like slinking around behind things, I think. I'm thinking of them as like kind of golem like. Probably slinking around. Do they have surprise on me at this point, or have I heard anything? They do not have surprise on me. Okay, so I've heard movement in the room. I go to this door. It is locked. I think probably this is the point at which the goblin children make themselves known. So I want to make a reaction roll for them. There's going to be a penalty here because they've seen me trying to open a locked door. That is a poor reaction roll. Is that hostile immediately? Or your reaction? Let's find my table. Unfriendly. May attack. Okay. So I think like one goblin child makes themselves probably like 2 like creep out. Can they speak, or do they just like hiss weirdly at me? I think hissing weirdly is creepier, so they just like hiss weirdly at me. Now I have to decide, do I think I can take 2 possibly more weird things? Or do I like allow myself to be herded into the audience chamber? I think knowing that they don't like me to go through, they don't want me to go through this door, is a good indication I should go through that door. I don't like. I just have my starting gear, so I don't have any like cool stuff I can bribe them with. I think I have to fight the goblin children because I'm just thinking like, if I go into the room they want me to go into, then what do I do from there? I will discover the north door is locked. I will maybe check out the east door, but ultimately this room leads to meeting, like meeting Madri, and then it's how do I get past this guy? Whereas I know this door is like off limits to normal people, so it may lead me in the direction I want to go. So I'm gonna fight the goblins. So let's roll initiative. Then maybe I can stab one in the neck before let's catch up. Nope, they are really good with the initiative there. Okay, so I think I'm like moving the door. The goblin children kind of make themselves known. I'm like, oh, sorry, as one of them approaches me, and I like raise my hands and like immediately dive for a knife. But they are too fast, so they're gonna move up. Boop. Okay, and the two by me are going to try to attack. So I potentially have lots of misses, because oh no, 18. That's a hit. And then the second one, 13. My AC is 13. Okay, so last combat, complete misses on all sides. This combat, 2 hits immediately off the bat. Okay, so... Alright, I might immediately die. Let's go 2d6 damage. 6 damage. Okay, I immediately die. Never send a level 1 thief alone on a rescue mission, I suppose. Okay. If I were a full party of adventurers, this would have gone very differently, because I would have like 4 characters versus 3 of them. Oh well, I guess that means it's a plausible dungeon. I could try tackling this with the Kernathalis character, who is somewhat tough at this point. Okay, we have a dungeon. Let's see. We never really worked out what Madrine the Magnificent is doing in here, though, but just generic mad science stuff, I suppose. I think given the kind of vibe we've got going on, it's something about uplifting people in a horrible way. Mad science is normally around... When I think mad science, I think Frankenstein. Like the prototypical mad scientist, so... I kind of want like a motive for our mad scientist, and for that I'm going to have a look at the if I can find it, the Tome of Adventure Design. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's got my name on as well. Let's hide that. And I can pop something up. One moment. Let's add a blob of color. It's gonna go like here or something, I think. Yeah, that covers it up. Okay, right. My pet peeve is PDFs that have your full name and order number in. I understand why like online platforms do it, but it's just frustrating. Okay, I want a bad guy motive. The villain's plan. Okay, so we have a master table of villains' plans and then detailed pages. Okay, let's roll up a villain's plan that our mad scientist is engaged upon. Let's start with a D100. 18. Desecration. The villain seeks to desecrate a location, an item, or an event. Okay. Desecration table. Yeah. $84. Target the priesthood. Okay, that fits with mad science. You know, the supremacy of science versus religion. But in a subversive way. So the villain plans to subvert the priesthood to evil, or possibly to mad science, and use them to desecrate the temple. For ideas about his methods, you want to have a look at the table. Look at conversion and subversion. Okay. So we have desecration events. When would we use this? Oh, I see. I should have rolled to see which thing he wants to desecrate. So 50% chance of a location, 50% chance of an event. Okay, location. In that case, it is the priesthood. He wants to subvert the priesthood. So let's note this down somewhere over here, I guess. Subvert the priesthood to evil, possibly mad science, and use them to desecrate the temple. Maybe he wants to forcibly convert society to atheism. I don't know. Okay, for ideas about methods, look at the conversion and subversion tables. Let's have a look at those. So conversion. 73 is minions use blackmail. Okay. And then it was the so that was conversion. We also want the subversion table. 8. Encouraging charitable donations to a good or neutral seeming temple that actually supports the worship of an evil deity. I also forgot there's like a whole section on like this book actually covers dungeons. Oh well. Okay, anyway, back to subversion to evil. Encouraging charitable donations to a good or neutral seeming temple that actually supports the worship of an evil deity. That doesn't really fit with mad science, I suppose. So maybe maybe we can interpret this a little bit more abstractly. Maybe it's more like a politics thing. Maybe we've got like a kind of like science versus religion thing going on. But our mad scientist is going to take a step a little bit too far to shift the balance of the conflict. So our context. We have a kind of science versus religion thing going on. Mad scientists are looked upon unkindly by society. I wonder why. Maybe. I mean, our scientist is like vivisecting people, so he's pretty bad. To subvert the priesthood. So let's say he wants by subvert the priesthood to evil. This means he wants to kind of convert the main like political proponents of his like main religious enemies over to his side. And use them to desecrate the temple. That kind of works. He wants to subvert the loyalty of his political opponents of science. Let's just say his political opponents through blackmail and use them to desecrate the temple. That's what it said. Shift the balance of power, I suppose. Okay, so let's put that here. So I guess we have a society where there's a tension between the temple faction and a kind of, which may also be like state links possibly, and a more like secular faction. I guess the temples are kind of the powerful faction at the current moment, and Majarine is not happy with this. His plan is to he has identified the like few power makers and wants to blackmail them. He has dug up some nasty things from their past, possibly by reanimating literal skeletons in their closets. So he's got blackmail material. He's going to use that to shift the balance of power from the temple faction. And so our adventure, were this to become like a full adventure, would be maybe like one of these blackmailed people or like a relative or something reaches out to the party for aid because they're unable to resolve this problem themselves without the risk of like public exposure. So we have like our missions now. Let's just quickly roll up like a type of mission. But I think it's going to be like yeah, let's just maybe a random mission will give inspiration as to how this could be dealt with. Okay, so we have our types of missions. 3, an individual. 88, spy upon. 70, spy upon someone on table 18. D1000, oh my god. Okay. Spy upon 890. A swordsmith with a family problem. Maybe this swordsmith is one of Majarine's agents. Maybe okay, so if this is about blackmailing like the political powers that be, I'm thinking something along the lines of like forged evidence that a family heirloom was actually stolen or something like that. Something that would bring disgrace upon the family. And this like corrupt swordsmith is in on it. So maybe it's not exactly a swordsmith, maybe it's like an expert on ancient arms and armor. I guess it could just be like mind control or something. I don't know. So an expert on ancient arms and armor has been brought over to Majarine's side through some mechanism. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Just whatever it is, it's something that leads a clue pointing back to Majarine. has accused or is I guess they've not like publicly accused anything because then the blackmails got out. Okay, so I think this is like the outline of something. So an expert in ancient arms and armor somehow been brought over to Madrine's side, and they have got in touch with this person who Madrine wants to blackmail and being like, hey, I know that, hey, while I was restoring your ancestral suit of armor or whatever, I found a maker's mark indicating that it originally belonged to Family X. You have clearly stolen this. If you do not want this to get out, then I want you to vote in a certain way on such and such topic. And the victim knows this is obviously false, but this person is a respected expert, and so their word will be trusted. So they need the party to spy upon this guy and figure out what's going on. And then the party would spy upon this guy and see he is exchanging letters with Madrid, and the letters kind of tell him what to do or whatnot. And then they go beat up the mad scientist, and everyone is happy. Okay, we did it. We have designed a dungeon and come up with some lore, and even had one character immediately die in the first room, because one level 1 thief versus 3 goblins is a tough fight. All right, that's 3 hours. That is about to stream. So I guess we will end here, and let's see what's coming up next. So next week, on Monday, I am going to attempt a dungeon using a very, very, very simple system. Good idea. Yes. Maybe the thief body could either be left here or they could be being experimented on. Yes, so Monday I'm going to attempt to complete a dungeon using a very, very simple system. We will see how that goes. Friday we will resume Across a Thousand Dead Worlds and hopefully explore another room of this adventure site that is taking a long time to get through. And then Saturday next week, I will return to Caves of Qud and play some more of that. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.